I think we're live now. Let me just put us both on. Oops. Hello, Nadia, and welcome. There we go. I was just trying to put both of us on screen. I've managed to do it. Well done, Suemya.
Good job.
Welcome, Nadia. Welcome to my Facebook group, the Prosperous Female Entrepreneur Facebook group. It's an absolute honor to have you with us today. For those of you that don't know Nadia, she is someone who's very, very special. She's an amazing, amazing young lady. She's a social entrepreneur consultant, and she was a lead ambassador for Breast Cancer Project, and she did work as a consultant and analyst for UN. So a woman with lots of talents, lots of skills, and lots of experience. And once again, I want to say it's an absolute honor to have you here. So Nadia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I believe you're a mother, so just a little bit about your personal life. We'd love to hear just a little, get to know you a little bit.
Thank you, first of all, Suemya, for this opportunity to share with the amazing women that you serve. I'm very fortunate to be able to join with you to do that. First and foremost, I am an empathetic person. I care very deeply about other people, and I am hopelessly optimistic about the future being bright and possibly kind to a fault. I love to connect with people, and within recent times like yourself, connecting with women who consider themselves visionaries. I have a little 6-year-old who's super talented, and I'm just trying to figure out how to help her tap into all of different facets of herself without running myself too ragged at the same time.
That can be a balance. That can be quite challenging for us entrepreneurs, trying to manage motherhood and stretching our kids and also trying to be creative and trying to run our business at the same time.
Yes, and I mean, she's a kidpreneur who's constantly coming up with ideas for her own business, so that's a whole level there. I have the most amazing husband and life partner that I could ever have asked for.
Aww.
He's basically the male version of myself.
Lovely,
so
lovely.
We get along
and
very well.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference when you're an entrepreneur. That makes such a big difference, having someone there supporting you and someone that sees your vision and helps you reach your potential.
Exactly. And quite honestly, a lot of the things that he said to me confirmed why I needed someone like you to help me, because he would say, he'd be like, babe, you can do so much more. You're so much bigger. Why are you doing all these small things? It's like you're just comfortable doing the small things, but there's so much more to you. And he would constantly tell people, he's like, oh, this is my super talented wife. Stop it.
Because I remember. Yeah, I remember Nadia, because for those of you that don't know, Nadia and I used to be part of a very high-end business coaching program, and I would see Nadia and I'd be thinking she's not reaching her full potential. And that's why I approached you and said, Nadia, have you considered working on your internal, things? I mean, we don't need to go into that's confidential between the two of us. But then what made you agree to, get my help? Because you were with another therapist, or you had tried another therapist. What was it that convinced you to, get help? And would you mind sharing that with the ladies?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I grew up Christian, so hypnotherapy was off limits for like my whole life. Okay.
There's a taboo in the Muslim community about it too, yes.
Yes, and so when I was diagnosed with breast cancer at 30 years old, and I was facing my, the shortness of life when I was so young, it really gave me a chance to pause and ask myself some deeper questions. And I decided, I'll let the doctors fix my body, but I'm not going to come out of this experience the same person. And so I sought help. I went to every therapist I could find. I spoke to everyone I could talk to that I thought would be able to help. And I also worked with a hypnotherapist at that point. And it was helpful. I've actually known him, like we went to primary school together. So I've known him
like childhood friend.
Yeah. The challenge there, however, well, there were a few things. One, from a male perspective, I felt like he wasn't able to tap into some of those deeper levels of trauma that I experienced. And then I also felt as though maybe in some cases there were things he wanted to try and to test and to do, and it wasn't necessarily about what my needs were at that point. And so that was why I ended that hypnotherapy relationship. And when I met you, and I just kind of watched the ease with which you did, and I'm like, she's now starting off, but it's just flowing out of her. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't have had challenges, but your demeanor, your way of dealing with it, I was freaking out, I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I'm going to fail. And, I was freaking myself out, and I was watching you not do that. And I thought, she knows something I don't know. And then you're so sweet, right? So it was a no-brainer.
Because I remember during our one of our business coaching sessions, and I remember you just putting forward certain costs of your sessions, and I remember messaging you privately, like, what are you doing? And where I was coming from was like, look, you've got to earn your worth. You have so much behind you, your skills, your expertise, your knowledge. And not only that, but as entrepreneurs, we need to earn X amount, not for ourselves, but for us to reinvest so that we can get high-end coaching. And then that allows us to have an even bigger and better impact in the world. So I remember reaching out to you, so Nadia, and I remember that particular coaching call. We were actually away. And so I was on the call from my phone, and I was, I was kind of listening, but I do remember when you told, when you mentioned your package and the prices you were charging, I was like, Nadia, you're undercharging yourself.
Right, I think I was doing like $500 for 12 weeks or something insane like that. And I felt guilty asking people to pay $500 for something. And, working with you and continuing to deepen in my, my understanding of entrepreneurship with coaching and whatnot, I began to realize I don't serve them by playing small. I don't call them up to the level they need to be at by playing small. And I know you're going to ask me this question later, but I want to say it now.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, I had a coaching call, a strategy call, with a potential client. And they had, the first contact had initially said, oh, we don't have the money for that. And, I didn't even say how much it was. She's like, we don't have money. I was like, well, why don't we get on a call together? Let's see if I can help you. And she says, okay, she got my free ebook. She attended my free webinar. So she decided to bring in another one of their nonprofit leaders onto the call. And I felt myself present with such ease. I asked them questions, found out what they needed. I was able to give them on the spot 3 things that they could start doing right now that could change their trajectory. And I let them know, I said, I'm giving this away to you because this is reserved for my high-end clients. And then I made my presentation, and I had no problem saying, this is my fee. It's $5,000 for 12 weeks or $30,000 for 6 months.
And this is how much you're charging now? Love it.
I wasn't quivering. I wasn't like panicking like I used to. And I recognize, they're not paying me. because I'm amazing. They're investing in
They invested.
themselves. And
Absolutely.
I have the key to unlock that door. How dare I withhold that from them?
Because I remember, very soon after, we finished one of our sessions, you'd message and tell the ladies what happened after, the online, you went and you did your website. What happened after the first session? I think we worked together. What result did you get from that session?
Yeah, so first of all, I want everyone to know I do sessions with Sue at like 5 a.m. my time. So it was super early in the morning. And I think like by noon of that same day, I had put the entire offer together. I had written all my copy and I launched on my website, and I had my email copy ready to go out to my current clients, and I zoomed through it. It was amazingly clear exactly who I was going to be for them and how I was going to stand up for my clients, and it just flowed out of
Wow.
me. It was like all the work was pre-done.
Wow. So if you don't mind me asking, how much were you charging for that program, and how long was that for? Because here we go, we started at $500 for 10 weeks. So you do a session with me, and then what happens after the first session? Within a few hours, you create this website, email copy, photo, everything is there. And how much are you charging then?
So I charged 1,997 Canadian dollars for the 3-day live course. And I let everyone know that this isn't the final price, but that's because they'll be coming on live with me while I record. And so once the actual course goes live, then that's going to be at a much higher ticket price. Also because it's an organizational price and not an individual price. So when they pay for their whole organization. So once that goes live, that it will be a very different ticket price. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me, what difference have you noticed in your personal life since we've started working?
The biggest thing is this tremendous sense of calm. I have spent so much time being anxious about everything, and you have, it's like they say when a couple gets a divorce because of toilet paper, but it has nothing to do with toilet paper, that there's something big that they're not discussing, and then all the little things start to become problems.
It'll start building up, yeah.
Exactly. I had this big mound of anxiety resting in my chest, and I do not think there's any coincidence between that and the breast cancer diagnosis, just sidebar. But I had this tremendous anxiety resting in my chest, and so every little thing became something else just piled onto that. And I think one of the benefits of working with you is that not only do you bring the hypnotherapy, but you bring the business coaching, so you understand these layers and facets of what I am dealing with, right? It's not just one perspective that you're able to bring. So even working with business coaches, sometimes you might look at someone and say, oh, well, this person isn't trying, or this person seems lazy, or you may have those perspectives when you don't understand the deeper levels of trauma that are causing the blockages, right? And so after working with you, I've just felt this tremendous sense of calm standing within myself. And I thank you for that.
No, you're absolutely welcome. And I truly believe everything is within us. Even like when it comes to niching and all of this, it's within us. We don't need to spend weeks on a conscious level trying to get our niching sorted. It's within us. It just needs to come out. That's all. And once it's out, we can create incredible packages and share this gift with the world. And I just truly believe all of us have an amazing gift, and it's blocked. We've all got weeds. That's what I call them. We have weeds. And we just need someone who is really experienced and has knowledge in this area to kind of go in like a surgeon and just pull out all the weeds. And then once that's gone, that is it. There's no stopping you.
Oh my gosh, that is so true, because You know what? One of the things that I would say found me in 2020 was this working with visionary women. I did not start off 2020 with that intention. You know,
Right.
it just kind of created itself. And I was working hard to push other things. Well, this thing was just flowing and making itself happen. And I'm so glad that we're able to work together with those women,
Yes.
because I was in a very casual conversation, and I said to someone recently, on that platform, I serve from a place of rest. I don't work from a place of need.
Yeah.
And it was so profound as I said it, you know, like I had a moment where it was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This wasn't a head niche. This was
Yes.
a calling niche, you
Yes.
know, and that's so true what you
Yeah,
said.
I
Yeah.
completely get what you mean, because when I wake up in the morning, it's not that I'm waking up to a job. I'm waking up and my heart is yearning to go. Every morning I wake up and I think, right, who am I unblocking today for them to shine? I'm like, who is that person? And it's such a great feeling, because that's literally what I do. I kind of, go in, I unblock, and women are shining. And this is what we need now. We need women to shine, because we have something that men don't have. We have intuition, but our intuition is blocked because of all the weeds, the self-doubt, the fear.
Yeah.
For many of us, it's trauma from the past, abuse. Once we remove that, we're just able to create something just so unique. So tell me, what challenges, apart from you having this fear of shining when we work together, what other challenges were you feeling before we started working together? If there were anything else.
Yeah, I would definitely, because I'm constantly now in a position where I'm balancing health and the rest of life, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted to, I guess, prioritize my health for maybe the first time in my life.
Good.
And so I had a lot of, well, how do I do that and still, be amazing at what I do? I'm accustomed to, I used to call myself an octopus, right? I'm accustomed to doing 40 things at a time. How exactly do I do that in one of our sessions? And in one of the services that you provided, which I think is so valuable and so worth it, worth the investment, was, to say, like, Nadia, you know how to prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Nadia, do this, do that. It was, how. And that just kind of helped me tap into, oh, wait a minute. I do know what I need, and I know what my daughter who's homeschooling, I know what we need together. So why don't I just do that?
Yeah. And this is what I do with my ladies. It's like, you know what you need to do. Once you unblock your intuition on a day-to-day basis as an entrepreneur, you know what you need to do. When we have coaching, we are told, and it is very male-dominated, which is very conscious. You've got to have time, money, and strategies. But as women, we don't work best in that sort of framework. And once we work from the heart and we work from our intuition, we get so much done. And it doesn't make sense sometimes logically. It really doesn't. And I see that in my marital life. Things sometimes don't make sense. And my husband's a maths teacher, so you can imagine he's very logical. I'm like, we need to move. It doesn't make sense. I just, my heart doesn't feel it anymore. My husband's like, so yeah.
Well, yeah. I totally agree. I mean, I have an actuarial science background, so I'm super duper mathematical and logical. And I think those two things tend to fight against each other, because I might have an inclination, and then I'll be like, okay, hold on, stop, let's process. And I have to think through all the pieces before, I make a move. And so to be able to tap into that inner knowing is something that's really special for me in this new dispensation, and to rest on that intuition and to say, okay, I actually know how to take care of myself.
Yeah, you do. So and that's one thing as entrepreneurs, is that we need to lead ourselves first. lead our family, then lead others. And sometimes when we try to lead others first, and many of us do because we're so heart-centered, that we forget and neglect ourselves on an emotional and physical level. As a result, we burn out. So lead from the front. What I do want to ask you, Nadia, is if anyone was thinking of working with me as part of my 90-day program, which is Grow and Launch Your Business, what advice would you give them?
The first thing is do it. The second thing is come with an open heart and an open mind. There's a lot of demystifying around hypnotherapy that, some of us have to come to that education on. But quite frankly, just come with an open heart and an open mind. I think one of the best things with working with you, Sue, is that level of trust that we were able to establish very quickly. And so, to be able to, I'm offloading on you, right? I'm telling you everything because I know I need that help to get to the next level. So I would also say be honest, be willing to be vulnerable, be willing to be open. There are no layers of ourselves that if we have help to untap that we shouldn't try, so do it, come open, come willing to be vulnerable. Sue is amazing.
Thank you.
She's a very good listener, she's very keen, and she knows her intuition for how to help you out. So
thank you. And just going back to what you were saying is about trust, and I honestly, if I feel before a client, before they register working with me, if I feel there's any resistance, I'm quite honest and I say, look, I can sense there's resistance. I need you to trust me. I feel, even if there's an ounce of resistance, I would say, look, come back to me, sleep on it. When you feel that you can trust me, let's work together. Or if you feel I'm not the person, find someone that you can trust, because that's the thing. When I the work that I do, you need to work with somebody who you can trust, because there's stuff there which is so intimate that we've not shared with anyone. And most of the women I work with have kept this secret for 30, 40 years, not even shared it with their spouse. So this is why, you have to have someone who you believe you can trust. So thank you for mentioning that to the ladies, because I think it's really beneficial for them to know. So who would you recommend my 90-day package? Who would you recommend it to?
So if you're an entrepreneurial woman and you're able to get the processing part, you know what you want to do, what you've been doing, you're good at what you do, and no matter how good you are, you just seem to always hit this wall. I was telling you, like, sometimes I just always felt like, no matter how I tried, some random thing would pop up out of left field and just appear out of nowhere. And you just keep feeling like you're hitting this block, and each next time you try, you have a little less energy to give. That's when you need someone who's going to come and say, oh, by the way, this wall doesn't actually exist.
Yes. Yes, and I remember we did that with you in one of the sessions. Do you remember the energy session we did, and we removed that for you? Yes.
Yes. And so that it's changing perspective, yes, but it's not just a heady perspective. It's a change in your knowing that, oh, wait a minute, is this actually happening to me, or is it happening and I still get to move, because it's happening over there, So if that's where you are, if you feel that constant just roadblock, head block, wall, you're worth so much more. You can do so much more. You are so much more. But that expression is there's just a lid on it. Find Sue right now. No.
You're amazing, Nadia. I can't wait to see your growth the next 12 months. I mean, within a day we worked together, you just from $500 for a 10-week course, you then ended up launching a 3-day leadership program for under $2,000. It's been 8 weeks since we've worked together. You've launched a high-end package, $30,000. Wow. I can't wait to see what you're going to do within the next 2 months. I just can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, Nadia. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to say or share before we end this amazing live interview with you?
I just want to tell everyone, honestly, there are not very many times that you find people who are open and authentic. And when you find those people, I really encourage you to meet them in that space. Sue is one of those people who's just consistent, and consistency is important to me. They're really shiny people, who pop in and then disappear. That's not Sue. Sue is a lifetimer, so this is an amazing person to work with, yes, but this is the best person you can have in your corner cheering you on. Yeah.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you for sharing your growth and experience with all these amazing ladies on this group. I wish you all the best. I mean, we haven't still finished working yet. We've only worked together for 8 weeks, so we still have some more time left. And I just can't wait to see what you create next, Nadia. I just can't wait.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nadia. Lots of love. Take care and look after yourself. Take care, Nadia.
Yeah.
Lots of love. Take care. Bye.